Ellenwood's Memorial Stadium as the football players come over to sing the anthem, as many of them do. There's 4 or 5, 6 of them, I believe, that will be joining the choir. So we'll take a break here from Memorial Stadium. We'll be back here after the national anthem. You listen to Ellenwood Eagle football at 107.9. Good evening and welcome back to Ellenwood High School's Memorial Stadium as the Ellenwood Eagles get set to take on the Ness City Eagles. Both teams out at midfield getting their instructions from the officials. They will get ready for the coin toss. The 2 captains out there for the Eagles tonight are number 75, Colby Prescott, and number 40, Todd Hamby. Of course, Prescott, a standout on defense. Hamby has been very good as a wide receiver and slot guy this year. That's really, a position that had to be filled with the loss of last year's skill players.
Well, Doug, only even as you lost 2 skilled players in Eric Jones and Tyson Martinez, you have to realize how good Eric and Tyson were. Tyson being recognized by kpreps.com all first team, for the position of wide receiver. So obviously a very good player in Tyson that's gone, but Todd's doing really well this year. Looking forward to see how he's going to do.
It looks like Ness City has elected to receive. Of course, Ness City will protect the north goal, and the Eagles protect the south goal. Quite the wind. Again, it's kind of coming out of the southeast, blowing to the northwest. So Ness City should have a more difficult time trying to pass here in the first quarter. The Eagles should have a slightly easier time. We did not have a Coach Alex Burney pregame show tonight with all the homecoming festivities and whatnot and the activities throughout the week. So we're going to fly blind on this one, but knowing Coach Burney, he's got a few things that he has put in as you could see it kind of developing. They put that full playbook in, but just because the playbook is in doesn't mean you call all the plays. So tonight they'll try to give Ness City something that perhaps they hadn't seen, and I look for that to be a lot more in the passing game.
Well, Doug, obviously, as we've watched throughout the first 3 games, haven't really seen much on the passing side. It's been a whole bunch of running the ball to the left, to the right, center, all of that. It's going to be interesting to see how we're going to do passing-wise with the wind and just seeing a defense which is first team and not your second team defense out of your scout team.
Well, Landon Roble will drop back to kick. Of course, this kick is brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. You can kick off at the beginning, you can kick off at the end, but one thing you can do always is kick off your insurance savings with Amber at Jensen Insurance. Back to receive the kick for Ness City is number 27, Dylan Munez, and number 24, Nate Gable. This one's going to be a short kick off the side of the foot. It'll go out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. So they're going to tack some yards on, or are they going to take it right there? I believe it just goes right there. They're not going to tack it on. So Ness City will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. And could have been worse, Alex. I mean, we've had some kicks that have been run back beyond that. So really, the 27, not such a bad place for the Eagles to have the Eagles pinned into.
Well, Doug, with Ness City as they are, I mean, you're giving Brendan Chacon, the running back, some good yardage. It's going to be somewhat interesting to see how he's going to do today.
John Fontenstiel is the quarterback. He hands it off to the lead back, and that will be number 45, Brendan Chacon. Of course, Chacon, 220 pounds, 5'10" senior. And I've been told that this guy can flat run with the ball. He's pure power.
Doug, last year he was the unanimous first-team pick for running back in the Central Prairie League. That's including the other good running backs we had in the league with Humberto Soto out of Kinsley and Brad Lightfoot out of Otis Bison. You have a junior winning all league. That's something to be proud of.
Fontenstiel back deep. Chacon beside him. He'll take the snap. He's going to drop back. 3 men into the receiving pattern. This one overthrown, intended for number 80, Landon Reinhardt. So right away, Ness City goes run pass, and they're going to try to keep the Eagles off balance.
And that was a good coverage there by Ryan Niles, making sure that pass was broken up and basically leading it to 2nd and 10, not a touchdown for Ness City.
We're putting a little more beef on the defensive line here. Colby Prescott comes in at the nose position. And coming off the field is number 67, Zeb Hughes. They're going to talk to Zeb a little bit about his alignment.
Well, Zeb did a really good job last week versus Victoria as he was filling in for Colby. You got to remember Colby was out with a shoulder injury last week.
Fontenstiel drops back to pass, dumps it off to Chacon, far sideline. He's breaking it down the line, and he is caught by number 1, guess who, Drew Blake.
And that was a perfect textbook tackle there from Drew. Saved it from a touchdown, but unfortunately it's really close for Ness City to score.
Well, they had 2 receivers in a crossing pattern to the left. Chacon broke out. He was the underneath receiver, and Fontenstiel hit him on a dead run, and he made it down to about the, 3-yard line maybe?
I would say that.
So that'll be 1st and goal here for Ness City. Chacon, the lone running back. Fontenstiel takes the deep snap. 2 receivers, 1 wide, 1 left wide. This snap is over the top of Fontenstiel, and he's going to go all the way back to the 20, well, they're going to say down at the 26-yard line. So the Eagles' defense takes advantage of the high snap, and that puts the Ness City Eagles backwards.
Well, that's not how you want to play the game if you're Ness City. As we spoke in the pregame, if you're coming into somebody's homecoming, you want to make sure that you defeat them, and that's not how you do it, Doug.
Well, this could, we'll find out, how they recover. This could bode well for the Eagles. Fontenstiel back, lone back is Chacon. Twins to the far side, 1 receiver near side. This is a sweep to the right side. He's going to get outside, breaks through the first pass, and he is going to be tackled out of bounds by number 3, and that is, don't know.
That's Cody Cutter.
Okay, that's right. Cody Cutter has moved to number 3. And on the carry, that was it said 84, but I do not have an 84.
Doug, I believe that was Nate Gable, number 24 on the run.
I had an 84 there, but okay. I guess you're right. It was a 24. Slot receiver, and then split receiver left, split receiver right, single back in the backfield. Fontenstiel drops back, dumps the ball off about the 10-yard line. Reception by number 5, Fontenstiel hits Reinhardt. Reinhardt, number 80, tackled by Ryan Niles. So it'll be 4th and goal from the 10-yard line. And this would be a huge huge stop for the Ellenwood Eagles.
Well, Doug, and you've got to credit Ness City from going from 2nd and 25-ish and on second and goal to making it all the way 4th and 10. That's quite impressive.
Fonesteel under center, twin backs in the backfield, I formation. Fonesteel drops back. He's in pursuit by Dole. He's going to dump it to Chacon. Chacon gets hit in the backfield, or hit deep by Nathan Monday, but he makes it in for the score.
So with 9:06 to play, Ness City 6, Ellenwood 0 on the Chacon pass. On the Chacon reception.
Well, Chacon, I tell you what, Nathan Monday hit him hard right in the right spot. But Chacon is not going to go down on a one tackler type of situation. So Ness City will go for 2, as has been customary in 8-man football. In fact, thinking back over the last 3 years, I can't remember, but maybe 2 extra points kicked.
Well, and last year, Doug, when I was up videotaping the games for the team, I listened to the Ness City games, and they actually attempted a couple of extra points versus South Gray.
Hand off to Chacon. He gets it across the end zone. So it'll be 8-0 now. At the 9:06 mark, Ness City has taken the lead. We're going to take a break here from Memorial Stadium in Ellenwood as the Ellenwood Eagles come up with their first drive of the game. Listen to Eagle football at 107.9. We'll be back after this timeout. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Squib kick by Reyes, picked up by the Eagles, number 11, Landon Roble. He brings it out across the 30 and the 35. It'll be 1st and 10 Ellenwood with the nose of the football on the 37-yard line. So Blake and Christensen were back deep, but Ness City opted to kick it to the up man, Roble.
Well, Doug, and a smart move there by Landon just to fall on the ball there. Ran it for a couple of yards, but smart move from him just to take it, run it to the line of scrimmage.
Eagles come out in a modified I. Kyler Dole hands it off to the tailback, and that is going to be that Drew Blake. It sure is. Drew Blake breaks through about everybody, takes it down to the 15. Now they're going to back it up to the 18-yard line. So Drew Blake takes the opening handoff, and he shows Ness City, here you go.
And that's how Ellenwood wanted to really start the game off. Unfortunately, it wasn't with a touchdown, but it got the ball rolling for Ellenwood.
Kyler Dole under center. Blake in the backfield, as is Cutter. Hand off to Blake again. He'll go across the 15, down to about the 11-yard line. They might give him credit for the 10. No, it's going to be right at the 11-yard line. So that'll bring up a 2nd and short 4. So the Eagles, 2 carries, have driven it down the field. And boy, that says a lot about the Eagles' offensive line. Slot receiver near side. Single back in the backfield. Dole deep takes the snap. It's going to be a sweep to Blake. Blake is going to take on the tackler, and he is into the end zone. So Drew Blake makes it simple and gets the touchdown.
8:13 to go in the game, and it's now 8-6. Ness City leads Ellenwood.
The Eagles just drove it right down their throat, and I think, just like we thought, they were thinking pass, and here comes the Eagles. Run, run, run. Guess what? We just put up 6 on you. Slot receiver, right side, single back in the backfield. Dole to take the deep snap deep. He'll hand it off to Blake, and boy, Blake is smothered by number 8, Matthew Delaney. So the extra point is no good, and it will end up being 8-6 Ness City. Eagles score on their first possession. We'll take a break here. No, we won't take a break. What am I thinking? We're going to stay right here and recognize some of our Ellenwood Eagles sports sponsors. They include our newest sponsor, Ricker Seeds. Call Mark or Tim to pre-order your seed needs at 785-479-0135. Annie Mae's Restaurant in Ellenwood. Before the game, after the game, lunch, and supper, they cook it like Mom used to. Look for their daily specials, and they even have homemade pizzas too. Dine in or carry out or delivery at Annie Mae's. Barton College, where high school grads in Kansas with a 3.5 GPA or higher, or scored a 26 or better on your ACT, qualify for books or tuition scholarship, visit gobarton.com for details. Well, the Ellenwood Eagles drop back to kick, and this kickoff, once again, Alex, is brought to you by whom?
Amber Petsit at Jensen Insurance. If you need to restart your insurance needs, contact Amber and the crew. They'd love to hear from you.
There you go. Long kickoff to the 5. They're going to try to run the reverse. They hand it off to
that's Dylan Muniz on the run.
Muniz, and he got rocked by the Eagle defense or coverage team, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 Ness City at the 17-yard line. So good coverage that time by the Ellenwood Eagles. In fact, so many guys in on the tackle, Alex, I can't even tell you who.
I think there were about 8 or 9 on that tackle. I could probably list off the people who weren't in there, and they were getting there as fast as they could to the tackle, but unfortunately the officials whistled it dead before they could.
Now, that would be a neat trick to see 9 guys in 8-man football. But
I'm thinking 11. I'm sorry, Doug.
Fonesteele hands it off to the tailback, Chacon. He will make it up to about the 22-yard line. So that'll be coming up a 2nd down and a long 5 here for Ness City. So Ness City's going to try to do the run thing again, even though last time they will run, pass. So let's see if they stay with that pattern. Chacon this time will be under center. He's going to have 2 backs in the backfield. Or not Chacon, excuse me, Fonesteele. Fonesteele takes the snap, and the Eagles are going to be called for offside, or encroachment, I guess is what they call it. It looked like Cody Cutter had a little set of ants in his pants and wanted to get across the goal line, or get across the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be enough for a 1st down. So Ness City gets the 1st down the easy way via penalties.
Well, Doug, and while I've got it here, here's your CPL Games of the Week presented by ILS Innovative Livestock Services and Barton County Feeders. We've got Kinsley at I'm looking at week 3.
Apparently.
Maxville's at St. John, Ness City's at Ellenwood. Central Plains is at home versus Victoria for their homecoming, and La Crosse is at Ellsworth.
Fonesteele back, rolls to the right. He puts the ball up in the air. Great defense that time by number 1, guess who? Drew Blake. So Drew Blake interrupts that path as he was wide open. The receiver intended for was Landon Reinhardt. Reinhardt went up high, but they forgot Nathan Monday is a little bit taller than they are. Monday at 6'2", able to jump up there. Of course, he's a great rebounder in basketball.
Well, Doug, I can't wait to see how Nathan Money's going to do this year. He's going to be looking to be probably one of the best on the court for Ellenwood. He's looking to be one of the best on the defensive side for Ellenwood. Can't wait to see what he can do on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Split receiver, far side, single back in the backfield. Fonesteele hands off to Chacon. He beats the first tackler, gets into the linebackers, and he is wrapped up by number 1, Drew Blake, and number 65, that is Bryce Baker. So Baker and Blake make sure the Chacon doesn't break away. That'll bring up a 3rd and a long 5, maybe 6, depending on where that other marker is. I got bodies between me.
Well, Doug, and if the Ellenwood Eagle defense would have got Brendan Chacon in the backfield, I think it would have been a fumble. He was trying to get a little bit of a grip on the ball, but when he hit the line of scrimmage, he got it.
Twin receivers near side, single receiver far side, single back in the backfield alongside Fonesteele. There's another high snap. Fonesteele recovers. He's got half of the Eagles in pursuit. He does get the ball off to Chacon. He is across the first down marker and down to about the 35-yard line. Boy, Ness City dodged a bullet there.
They've dodged a bullet, but I think we've got a penalty on the play, and I think it's going to go against Ness City.
Well, I saw a late penalty come in as the flag is thrown at the 40. Let's see what they call. White Hat is getting the instructions from his side judge.
That's something we've noticed tonight, Doug. The snaps here from the Ness City center have gone a little bit too high.
We've got a holding call on the Ness City Eagles, so that's going to back them up because it happened at the end of the play. So that's going to take them back to about a 3rd and 7, where it would have been a first down. So earlier, Ness City shot themselves in the foot with a high snap. This time, another high snap, shot themselves in the foot with a holding penalty.
Well, that is true, Doug. It was a good play. Unfortunately, that penalty negated it. But we've got to remember, as we get into district, those are the kind of what we need to see in order to make sure we can correct those mistakes and so that we can see better football play come district.
Twin receivers far side, single receiver near side, pass intended for number 44, Andres Rios. Thrown a little bit behind him down at the hip. That'll fall incomplete. That brings up a 4th and 7 here for Ness City.
And a good job by the Eagle defense of Ellenwood, shutting out Ness City.
They are really swarming defensively. And the pass game for Ness City appears to be just a tad off right now. Single receiver near side, slot receiver and wide receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Fonensteel back deep. He's going to take the snap. Looks at Chacon in the flat. He's going to throw it underneath, kind of sidearm. And that is dropped by number 3, Angel Guzman. But he is wrapped up by, who was that?
I think that was Cody Cutter, and he was wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Cutter. So a very good play defensively, and that's going to switch the ball over for Ellenwood.
So turning it over on downs is the Ness City Eagles. And now the Ellenwood Eagles, after the football switch, will have it 1st and 10 at the Ness City 30-yard line, headed north. See if they could take advantage of the wind here. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole underneath center. Kyler takes the snap, hands it off to Blake. Blake goes to the middle of that defensive line, and he is met hard by Ness City's number 3, Angel Guzman. I never know if it's Angel or Angel.
I believe that from my remembering of listening to the Ness City games last year, Doug, it was Angel Guzman.
We'll get the Guzman part right. 2nd and 11. They're saying he lost the yard. Slot receiver far side. Single back in the backfield. Dole. Quick pitch to Blake. Blake trapped behind the line of scrimmage to the far side. That's going to be a loss, I believe, of another 1. They're going to say he got beyond the line of scrimmage, so this will bring up now they're backing it up. Okay. 3rd and 11, so back to the second line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 11 here for the Eagles. Slot receiver, far side, single back in the backfield. Kyler Dole to take the snap deep. He's going to hand it off to the slot man, and he's going to cut back. Cutter takes it ahead about 7 yards. That's going to bring up, it'd be about 9 yards, so that'll bring up a 4th and 3 here for the Ellenwood Eagles.
Well, Doug, Ness City's defense made sure that they showed Ellenwood how they appreciated being shut out in the offensive session before, and they've given Ellenwood a 3 and out if they don't make this 4th and 3 conversion.
Dole comes in underneath center, twin backs in the backfield, stacked formation. Dole takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to the tailback, Blake. Blake goes ahead, and he does get the first down. So Drew Blake, hard running right up the gut, takes a little slant to the right, and he will take it down to the 17-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 Ellenwood.
Well, Doug, with homecoming, you need to make sure that you look good with your offensive and defensive lines, and they're doing a really good job tonight.
Dole back deep, single back in the backfield, slot receiver far side. Fakes the pitch, ends it up handed off to Blake. He'll go late across the 15, maybe to the 14. They're going to say right at the 15-yard line, so that is a gain of 2 And that will bring up a second. What do I want to say? 2nd and 7. There we go. Slot receiver, far side, single back in the backfield. Dole takes a snap. No secrets there. Hands it to Drew Blake. He tries the right side again. He'll power ahead for what looks like a gain of 2 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Ellenwood Eagles from the 13-yard line. Again, the Ellenwood can get a first down without scoring.
Well, and that's the nice thing there, Doug. I mean, you get another fresh set of downs, another set to try and score.
Well, this is going to be huge for the Ellenwood Eagles. Slot receiver near side. Single back in the backfield. Slot receiver in motion. Dole calls for the snap. Gets it to Blake. A sweep to the right side. He's going to break through and almost into the end zone. He is pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
I believe that was Nate Gable on the push there for Ness City.
Oh, boy, there was no secret there. We're going to send our power against yours. You stopped us once on the sweep, but you're not going to do it again. We're going to get that first down. And Ellenwood does exactly that. So 1st and goal at the 5-yard line here for the Ellenwood Eagles trying to drive it in. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole takes a snap under center. He's going to hand it off to the lead back. That's Cutter. Cutter gains at least 2 and a final push late. But they're going to say his forward momentum was stopped at about the 2-yard line. So a gain of 3 for Ellenwood. And it'll be 2nd and 2 or 2nd and goal here for the Ellenwood Eagle. Well, right now, Alex, Ness City has been no match for the Eagles' offensive line.
That's the true thing there, Doug. I'm talking to some people from around the area who have seen this Ness City football team. Ness City is a really good team to what I've expected, and I haven't really honestly seen it tonight yet.
Slot receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole hands it off to Blake. Blake takes it in for 6. So 2:18 left on the clock, and the Eagles have taken a 12-8 lead here over Ness City. Alex, you could not ask for a better opportunity being taken advantage of than what the Ellenwood Eagles did there.
It's like that mosquito that's trying to take advantage of us here in the press box.
Single back in the backfield. Slot receiver far side. Dole takes a snap. He's going to do a little bootleg. Throws it into the end zone. That is caught by number 11.
Landon Roble.
So the Eagles take a 14-8 lead here over Ness City. And if you'd asked anybody but an Ellenwood Eagle fan, they'd have said no way.
Well, Doug, reading the papers today, I was seeing how everybody's thinking Ness over Ellenwood, Ness over Ellenwood, Ness over Ellenwood. Not seeing that yet, Doug. I'll just put it like that.
Well, before the kickoff here, let's recognize Fuller Industries of Great Bend, your one-stop solution source. See what Fuller Industries can do for you. Keller Real Estate of Great Bend and Ellenwood. From commercial to residential and farm properties, Keller Real Estate has the experience to help you. Keller Real Estate, proud to be a part of the Ellenwood community. H&B Communications, bringing technology to your doorstep. H&B Communications is proud to be a sponsor of Ellenwood Eagle Sports. And Community Bank of the Midwest, proud to be in Ellenwood and taking care of all of your banking needs. Ellenwood Community Bank and the Ellenwood Eagles, a winning combination. And Alex, it's that time again, Ellenwood Eagles to kick off. And the kickoff is brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. This one, a squib kick to only the 30. It's picked up by the upback Mario Luna. Luna powers ahead across the 30. He'll take it to about the 30, right at the 34.5-yard line. And that's a pretty good start here for Ness City. Let's see what the Eagles D can do here.
Well, hopefully we'll see the same Ellenwood Eagle defense, which shut them out the previous Ness City offensive drive.
Eagles come out in their standard defensive formation. Ness City comes up. Slot receiver far side, single receiver far side. One back in the backfield, handoff from Fontainebleau to Chacon. He's going to go middle, breaks left, takes on Ryan Niles. Niles is no match for him, and Chacon is going to take it into the end zone. Boy, they struck quick and they struck hard, and credit to Ryan Niles. He was trying to hold him up long enough, but not much of a weight disadvantage there.
And with as big as a guy as Brennan Chacon is, and as small of a guy as Ryan Niles is, it's Ryan did a really good job there, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done. But he did his best effort, and that's really all you can ask for.
129 pounds to 220 on that play. So it's a 14-14 tie. Ness City goes for two, single back in the backfield. Fonasteel's going to keep it, come around the right end. He's going to put it in for two. And now it's 14-16. Ness City here with, what is that, a minute 59 left to go?
You are correct, Doug.
In the first quarter. So a minute 59 left in the first quarter, and the score is tied. Ness City has taken a 2-point lead. They're up 14-16 over the Ellenwood Eagles. You listen to Eagle Football at 107.9. We'll be back here after the 30-second timeout. Welcome back, Ellenwood's Memorial Stadium. Ness City drove it down the field. One play. Chacon breaks it loose, goes down the far sideline, and Ness City takes the lead. 16-14, 1:59 left to go in the first quarter. Dropping back to kick for Ness City be Andres Rios, and his choices and down at the receive the ball are Drew Blake and Jace Christensen. Of course, this kickoff brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. This one deep, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. Hamby could have picked it up probably, but he let it roll out of bounds. In fact, they're going to move it up a little bit, and they're going to say it was out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So it'll be Eagles ball, 1st and 10 at the 25. The last time the Eagles got the ball, they went run, score.
That is true, Doug. It's going to be interesting to see how Ellenwood does with this. They're going to accept the penalty, and they're going to take the ball there at the 25-yard line.
So it's a procedure call. Never quite heard that called procedure. I thought it was a legal kick out of bounds, but okay. I don't know. They have changed the football mechanics so much, it probably means the same thing. They just do it a different way. Slot receiver, near side, single back in the backfield. Dole back deep to take the snap. Kyler calls for the ball. Motion on the slot. They're going to hand it off to Blake, and boy, Blake is wrapped up. Probably a loss of about one, as it looks like they got him at about the 24-yard line.
And that was Landon Reinhardt for Ness City, who made it behind the line of scrimmage and tackled him, making it a 1-yard loss for Ellenwood.
Well, sometimes you go to the well at the wrong time. Sometimes the defense guesses where you're going. And that seemed to be the case that time, as the defense was right there. Slot receiver far side. Single back in the backfield behind Kyler Dole. Slot man in motion. Dole takes a snap. This will be a pitch near side. Drew Blake. Blake comes along, gets it across to the 30-yard line, and he is driven out of bounds.
It looked like that was Alex Rodriguez and Nate Gable on the tackle for Ness City. We just got one score for you. Victoria leads Otis Bison 8-6 in the first quarter.
Well, that's going to be quite the ball game. It looks like this one is too.
And just as that one comes in, here comes another lacrosse. 7, Ellsworth 8.
3rd and 6 for the Eagles. Slot receiver near side. They're going to hand it off to Cutter. Cutter goes right side, breaks through the line of scrimmage, and he gets enough yards for a first down. So Cody Cutter gets the first down here for the Eagles. And that was a great play design, as Cutter had been in motion. This time they give it to him on the sweep with Blake running the misdirection.
Well, Doug, you kind of have to lull the defense to sleep, and that's pretty much how you do it. And for Ellenwood, that made it a first down.
Slot receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole calls for the snap. High snap, but he's going to hand it off to Blake. Cutter, the lead blocker, And that's going to get the ball across the
Looks like
40-yard line.
Looks
but
like we
it
have a
comes
fumble on the
loose.
play, Doug.
And they're going to say that Ness City recovers. Well, Drew Blake got tackled by committee by the Ness City Eagles, and he fumbles the ball with 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter. So it'll be Ness City's ball at the 39-yard line of Ness City, headed to the south.
Well, Doug, and for Drew, he had 4 or 5 Ness City Eagles tackling him all at the same time. It's really hard to hold the ball when you've got 1, 2, 3 guys trying to make sure that ball gets out of his hands.
Twin backs in the backfield. Still takes the snap. He's going to drop back to Pat. He's got a man open deep, and that is a circus catch. No, they're going to say incomplete as it went in and out of the hands of Andres Rios, but they're saying the ball hit the ground. Coverage that time provided by, it looked like, Blake and Dial. Well, let's just say the whole defensive backfield.
Well, and Doug, if Andreas Rios would have caught that ball, it would have been a circus catch, which would have easily been SportsCenter top 10 material.
All we needed was you to sit over there and go dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for Ness City. Still in the first quarter, 16 seconds left to go. Split receiver far side, slot receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Finensteel takes a snap, hands it off to Chacon. He'll try the middle, and he is going to be tackled by number 75, Colby Prescott. Not enough for a first down, but it brings up a 3rd and manageable, meaning about 4 yards here for Ness City. And there is the siren to end the first quarter. So at the end of the first, it is Ness City 16, Ellenwood 14. Listen to Eagle Football at 107.9. Back here after this 1-minute timeout. Welcome back to Ellenwood's Memorial Stadium as we switch directions here. Ness City's still in possession of the ball. It'll be a 3rd and about 4. Now they're headed to the north. The Eagles will defend the north goal. Twin backs or single back in the backfield, slot receiver far side, and a split receiver both side. Hand off to Chacon. He's going to get around the end and across the first down marker, and he's going to make it down to the 31-yard line. So that time, well, Chacon just a little too powerful for the interior line here of the defense of the Eagles.
Well, Doug, with Brennan Chacon, Brennan's kind of a lot like Cooper Fonasil from Victoria. After you get the initial grab for him, he can get a good 2, 3, maybe 4 yards of coverage. He does a good job of that, much like Cooper Fonasil does.
1st and 10 here for Ness City. Nose of the ball on the 30-yard line. Twins far side, single receiver near side, handoff to Chacon. He's going to get just across the line of scrimmage. Looks like the Eagles will hold him to a gain of about 2 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8. And boy, the part of the play you might not have seen is the Ness City quarterback, John Fonensteel, was buried, and I mean buried, by the Eagles nose tackle.
Well, Doug, I believe the nose tackle for Ellenwood was Zeb Hughes, as now Hughes and Prescott, they're switching out every 2 or 3 plays, it looks like. They're looking pretty good. Zeb Hughes is coming off a little bit of an equipment issue, unfortunately.
Split receiver near side. Single back in the backfield, receiver far side. Hand off to Chacon. He is going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Great job that time by the Eagles. Who was that? Was that Roble? Number 11 it was. That was Landon Roble. So Roble breaks through from his linebacking spot and says, Chacon, you get no more. So that'll bring up a third and, well, it looks like 7 to me, but it could be a long 7.
No, I'm trying to kill the fly. I was about to say,
Fonesteel under center, twin backs in the backfield, I formation. Fonesteel, he's going to get the Eagles to jump off sides. It's not going to be enough for a first down, as that time a little hard count there got Colby Prescott to make contact with the center. So that'll be +5, bringing up a third and manageable, about 3.5 yards. Coach Dole on the sidelines not happy with that. Boy, you can always tell when a coach's hands are on his hips, he is not a happy man. Split receiver near side, single back in the backfield. Fonesteel drops back, fakes the handoff, has a man open in the flat. He is just across the first down marker, and he is tackled by number 7, Nathan Monday.
Andreas Rios on the reception for Ness City. It looks like he's limping a little as he comes up for him, unfortunately. We'll see who comes in for Ness City.
Well, Ness City had a man going deep, which cleared out the middle for Rios. He came all the way across the formation from the far side to the near side, and he got it out here in the flat. The Eagles made initial contact behind the first down mark, but he's big enough he was able to lean forward and get the first down. Stacked backfield here for Ness City. Fonesteel under center. He's going to hand it off to the tailback. That's Chacon. He drives through and is tackled at the 15-yard line, and that is by, looked like, number 7, Nathan Monday. So Monday with the tackle, and he is probably going to replace by number 21, Jace Christensen. So the Eagles trying to stay fresh on the defensive side of the ball. What you're hearing is us trying to bombard the flies that are bombarding us.
Well, Doug, a couple minutes ago, I was a complete idiot and smacked myself in the face. That wasn't a success.
Fonesteel under center, twin backs in the backfield. He's going to fake to the lead back, cuts it through the left side, and he is tackled by number 21, Jace Christensen.
And Fonesteel was starting to slide a little bit as he was hit by Christensen. Not the way you want to do the quarterback slide.
Well, you know what? If it opens it up for a hit, it opens it up for a hit. Either that or he's tired of getting hit. So either way, the Eagles with a battle here. This brings up a third and about 4 from the 12-yard line. Split receiver near side, slot far side, single back in the backfield. Fonesteel takes a snap, hands it off to Chacon. He'll go right side, gets it just across the 10. I don't believe he got enough for the first down.
Nope, he's just a yard short there.
He's
for
going to
Ness.
be about a yard short. So that'll bring up a 4th and let's call it 1.5, Alex. The Eagles defense trying to hold in the red zone here. That time it was pure power against power, and the Eagles' entire left side of the defensive front came through to make the stop. 16-14, Ness City lead. Just underway, second quarter. 7:30 left to go in the first half. Fonesteel under center. Takes the snap. Pitches to Chacon. He'll get deep, and the Eagles, wall of Eagles come down on Chacon. Tackle that time by, good grief. Try to name them, Alex. I don't know. I think there's about 3 guys that weren't in on the tackle.
Well, let's see who was in on that, and let's see. Prescott was, Herman was. I would almost say Ethan Hayes was.
Like I said, good luck.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Ellenwood Eagles as they hold Ness City at the 11-yard line.
And
Eagles take it at the 11.
Sorry, Doug.
Twin receivers near side, single back in the backfield alongside Dole. Blake goes in motion, handoff to him, far side, and he is going to be caught with a gain of about 1. You can see that one coming as, it just kind of one of those plays you can sniff out.
That is true, Doug. I was honestly thinking that Dole had kept it and it was a fake as Blake was running out, and there was going to be a pass from Dole to Blake on the far side, and possibly in for an Ellenwood touchdown, unfortunately.
Twin backs in the backfield. Dole underneath center. Kyler takes the snap. He'll hand it off to the tailback. He's going to come across the 15-yard line down to about the 16. So Drew Blake gets ahead for a gain of 5. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Ellenwood Eagles.
And this has been quite the defensive battle, Doug, for both teams, as we haven't seen much on the offensive side.
And we've got a timeout called by the Ellenwood Eagles. And while we have a timeout, we'll recognize some more of our Ellenwood Eagles sports sponsors. They include Innovative Livestock Services and Barton County Feeders, always proud to sponsor the Ellenwood Eagles and striving to come up with the best strategy for you and your livestock business. Anderson Law Office, attorneys at law, statewide services, collect calls accepted, and available for evening and weekend appointments. Free initial consultation too. Know your rights and make an informed decision. Canope Sand, no matter how large or small your project, if you don't have the right truck for the job, their delivery trucks are available. Rock, sand, or dirt, they will be there in a flash. And then Joyner Construction, simply the best in the business, specializing in residential, commercial, and steel building construction, also offering complete roofing services. Hammer down, Eagles. So the Eagles, after the timeout, come out with a 3rd and about 5 from the 16-yard line. Dole will be back, single back in the backfield. Double tight end. Kyler takes the snap. He's going to fake it to Blake. Dole dishes it out near sideline. Todd Hamby. Hamby takes it out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Ellenwood Eagles. Boy, they thought run, and there's Hamby out in the near side.
Well, Doug, first down, you expect the run. That's what they've done the past couple of times. This is a perfect example of Ellenwood's lulling the Ness City defense to sleep on that play.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Slot receiver near side, single back in the backfield. Dole sends the slot in motion. Kyler pitches it to Drew Blake, far side. Blake goes left side. He is hit hard and knocked out of bounds on the tackle. That looked like number 8, Matthew Delaney, knocking Blake out of bounds, but not before Drew was able to gain about 7 yards. So a good first down play there. Brings up a 2nd and 3 here for Ellenwood. So far, the Eagles have mixed it up pretty nicely. Slot receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to the slot man. That is Cutter. Cutter's going to get wrapped up. He's going to have to lean forward. Might get a gain of 1, depending on where they mark it at. So they're going to say he took it to the 32-yard line. And apparently that's no gain, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 3 here for Ellenwood.
Well, that was Alex Rodriguez and Nate Gable on the tackle for Ness City. They're looking to be the defensive crew when it comes to tackles.
Dole back deep with the snap. Single back behind him, slot receiver. Little counter action play. This is handed off to Blake. He'll come near side. Takes it across the 40-yard line. The Eagles with another 1st and 10. And now just at or just barely across midfield. Looks like they're going to mark it at midfield at the 40-yard line. So the Eagles' offensive line getting back to work here, getting those first downs like they needed it. Slot man, far side, single back in the backfield. Dole back deep to take the snap. Kyler calls for it. He'll get it out to Blake, far side. He's going to sweep left, goes inside, tries to go outside, but he is wrapped up again out there by Matthew Delaney, but not before Blake was able to get ahead for right at 5 yards. Well, that play has worked pretty well. Yes, they've stuffed it a couple of times, but for the most part, the Ellenwood Eagles are in command on the sweep. Here comes the Eagles up to the offensive line of scrimmage. Slot man once again, far side, single back in the backfield is Blake. Dole calls for the snap. He's going to hand it off to Cutter. Cutter just gets it back to the 40-yard line, as that one was doomed from the beginning as a little predictable there in the eyes of the Ness City defense.
Well, and Trevor Vandergrift, he saw it first, and he got the tackle there for Ness City, and that pretty much made it third down and absolutely no yardage gained.
So 3rd and 9 here for the Ellenwood Eagles. Single back in the backfield. Twin in the backfield. Handoff is to Blake. Blake takes it off the left side. He'll go ahead across about the 35-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th and 5 here for Ellenwood. So 4th and 5 for the Ellenwood Eagles, and they are going to go for it. And last time they went for it on 4th down, able to make the first down.
Well, it's been interesting, Doug, how 4th down conversions have gone throughout this game. Ness City hasn't had as much success as Ellenwood, but Ellenwood, they've missed one or two. Well, same with Ness City.
Dole into the huddle, calls the play. Kyler's going to come up deep again, slot to the near side, single back in the backfield. Dole calls for the snap. Yep, they're going to call a timeout, or is this going to be a penalty? No timeout. Ellenwood Eagles. So the Eagles of Ellenwood don't want to make a mistake here with 2:14 left to go in the first half. So that's going to give us a chance to wrap up our last 4 sponsors on our live reads. They include Jensen Insurance, your independent insurance professional offering you choices that fit your needs. Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance supporting the Eagles. They've got you covered. Knope Auto Parts and Repair, providing complete auto tune-up and repair to Ellenwood, Kansas. They also offer a complete line of parts for agricultural, automotive, and oil field use. Count on their ASE certified mechanics for quality service every time. OPI, Office Products Incorporated, for all of your office needs with stores in Great Bend, Larned, and Russell. And our old buddy, Mel Waite at National Billing, your accounts receivable financing and processing company, proud sponsor of the Ellenwood Eagles. So those are your Ellenwood Eagles sports sponsors. We will get back to them as well as some more commercials when we have the opportunity for a break. So this is a big 4th down with just under 2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Slot to the near side. Single back in the backfield behind Dole. And we're going to have movement on the Ellenwood Eagles offensive line, and that is going to be a 5-yard penalty, I believe, as the near side jumped offside. So that's going to move it back to a 4th and 9.
Well, Doug, and 4th and 5 was manageable. 4th and 9 a little bit more interesting, but that also opens up the playbook for some more pass plays. We haven't seen much of those. The wind's calmed down quite a bit, so I think we might see a pass play out of this one.
Now you can almost see the flag as it kind of wavers a little bit instead of pointing right at us.
No, I'm going off the trees to the other side of the field.
Oh, always look at the flag.
Oh, I can't see the flag from mine.
Slot receiver near side, single back in the backfield. Little counter play to Blake. He's going to go left, breaks it back toward the middle. He's going to get close, but this time does not make it. So the Eagles do, basically have the same effect as if they would have turned it down on 4th down earlier. And now it'll be Ness City's ball with, still 2:41 on the clock. So I'm not sure the clock got started, which that happens, particularly if it's, a Missouri game? What would that happen a few years ago when Missouri was still in the Big 8?
Oh, those were the days.
Ness City comes out, finds still under center, twin backs in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Chacon deep. He goes left, breaks back toward the middle. The Ellenwood Eagle defense had him, and then somehow he worked his way out of it, and he goes ahead for about 9 yards. He's across the 40, down to about the 38, 37-yard line. Now they back it up to the 38. That'll bring up a 2nd and 2 here for Ness City. Ness City going against the clock. Clock still running. Just over 2 minutes left to go, first half. Ness City comes out in a stacked formation once again. Finally still under center. He'll hand it off to Chacon. Goes left, spin move into the middle. He does get the first down, but only down to the 35-yard line. So pretty good defense that time in the middle by the Ellenwood Eagles. That was number 67, Jeb Hughes, who made the tackle.
Well, and Zeb last week versus Victoria did a very good job pretty much taking over Colby Prescott's spot last week as Colby was out with injury. This week, Colby and Zeb are rotating in and out, and both of them, you can't really tell the change in quality as they get off.
Twin backs in the backfield. Fonesteel drops back, heavy pressure. He's just going to loft this one into the end zone as the coverage on the backside by Drew Blake was just too good to even try to get the pass inside.
Well, and the closest receiver was Andreas Rios, and he was about at the 15-yard line, and that ball landed midway into the end zone.
So Fonesteel has shown he's got the arm, but the Eagles have shown that they've got the coverage. So this will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Clock has stopped at 1:41 here in the first half. Split receiver far side, split near side, single back in the backfield. Fonesteel takes a snap. He's going to drop back again. Rolls to his right a little bit. Has a man open deep, and he is going to overthrow number 24, Nate Gable. So Fonesteel has aired it out a couple of times, and he has been nowhere near his receiver.
And now, while both of those passes have been incomplete, you've got to say quite the nice spiral there that Fonesteel has going deep.
As they say, he is pretty. My oldest son used to tell him he was pretty. He said, "Yeah, but I'm man pretty." So that's kind of scary. And we've got a timeout called, and I believe this one is by Ness City.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, so Ness City calls a timeout. 1:33 left on the clock in the first half. You're listening to Ellenwood Eagle football at 107.9. We'll be back here after this 30-second timeout. Well, Ness City called a timeout with 1:33 left to go in the first half. Ness City trying to drive. They face a 3rd and 10 headed to the north. The Eagles defense has been able to create some havoc, but Ness City has had receivers open both times and just overthrown. Split receiver far side, twins receivers near side, single back in the backfield. Fonesteel to take the snap. He gets the snap. He looks toward the left side. He's going to break through, and he is going to be knocked backward by number 33. That's Ethan Hayes, and Fonesteel couldn't keep his feet. That'll go down as a sack for Hayes, and that'll bring up a 4th and, my goodness, about 16 here for Ness City.
You've got to give some credit to Zeb Hughes and Landon Roble. They provided some very needed pressure there on Fonesteel, which made the sack possible. Also, some credit as well goes to Bryce Baker.
4th and 16, Ness City drops back to punt action. No, Fonesteel go under center. Chacon the deep back. Fonesteel, they're going to go to Chacon. He's going to punt it away. And the Eagles are content to let that one go into the end zone as he had more leg than needed. I'm sorry, that was Alex Rodriguez on the pump. But they, both of those guys look about the same. However, there's an 80-pound disparity, but shoulder-wise, they look pretty good. So the Eagles will take over on the punt. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. 42 seconds left to go in the first half. Ellenwood trails 16-14 here against the Ness City Eagles. Of course, this is homecoming, and the Eagles are trying to grind this one out. Dole, deep back. He's going to take it, pitch it to Blake. He's going to go far side. Drew comes up, gets to about the 18-yard line. So that'll be a gain of about 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Clock still ticking. Just over 25 seconds left to go in the first half. The Eagles might be content to leave that be, as you don't want to make a mistake here. Dole does have the play from head coach Alex Burney. Kyler goes out there. Now it's about 14 seconds, 13, 12. Eagles come up to the line of scrimmage. They are certainly in no hurry. Twins to the near side. Single back in the backfield. Dole back deep. He's going to take the snap. No, he's not, as the Eagles will not get the play off. And that is going to be your halftime score. So at halftime, it's Ness City 16, Ellenwood 14. You're listening to Eagle Football at 107.9. We'll be back here after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Eagle Football.
Have the Ellenwood High School Marching Eagles. Tonight, they will be performing Uma Thurman by Fallout Boy.
Yep.
The band is under the direction of Miss Kyla Pierce. ladies and gentlemen, your Ellenwood Eagle Marching Band under the direction of Miss Kyla Pierce. Nice job. While we wait for our next entertainment, I'd like to announce the float winner for today. Today's float winner, second year in a row, the freshman. For the second part of your halftime entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Ellenwood High School Spirit Squad under the direction of Miss Ruth Ann Spare. Your cheerleaders performing for your halftime entertainment this evening. They are freshman Daphne Dole, Haley Gross, Anahi Mendez, Jocelyn Brown, Emily Frakes, sophomores, Kelly Williams, Latasia Gray, and your junior, Miss Caitlin Pullman. Sit back and enjoy the performance by your Ellenwood High School cheer team.
That's how it's done.
I like my beats fast and my bass down low. It's time to lay it on the line. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. Dig down deep, so deep. This place about to blow.
Now rockin'.
Yourself back.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty good. That looked real good. Your Ellenwood High School cheer team. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a soccer update for our exchange students. It is 2 for Brazil, Ecuador 0. That is in the first round of the World Cup qualifiers. Nice work, Brazil. We have a second quarter score. Kinsley 0. Central Plains 56. Second quarter, Dodge City 13, Great Bend 7. third as the Royals have tied the game 2-2 against the Chicago White Sox.
Welcome back to Ellenwood High School's Memorial Stadium. We are at halftime. Ness City leading the Ellenwood Eagles by a score of 16-14, and arguably, Alex, probably sans the Kinsley game, the best half of football that the Eagles have played so far this year.
And it's always when they're at home, Doug. That's the funny thing.
Well, it's kind of normal. They talk about the home field advantage in the NFL. They talk about it in college football. And in fact, tonight, a lot of games in the area. And I'm going to let you shoot some scores at us right now.
Okay, well, we'll start off with a game that kicked off at 2 o'clock this afternoon in the six-man league. Pawnee Heights defeated Weskin 51-6. The interesting tie for Weskin there, the Ness City head coach, Mark Coles, he was the longtime head coach at Weskin. He started the Coyotes into the six-man realm. They fell to Pawnee Heights 51-6. Alongside that, another victory. Hoisington got a forfeit win over Washington County this week. Other scores from around the area. Great Bend leads Dodge City in the second quarter, 21-13. In the start of the fourth quarter, Valley Heights leads Ellis 36-14. Central Plains leads Kinsley 56-0. Cheney leads Douglas 28-6. Victoria leads Otis Bison 14-8. Sacred Heart Salina leads Southeast of Saline 14-8. Ellsworth leads La Crosse 20-13. At the end of one, Nickerson leads Heston 7-0. Scott City leads Hugoton 14-0. El Dorado leads Kansas City Harmon 14-0. And McPherson leads Augusta 28-0. In baseball, the Royals and the White Sox are tied. And in Thursday's games, we had Wichita Bishop Carroll defeat Wichita East 30-0. Shawnee Mission South defeated Leavenworth 35-7. Shawnee Mission East defeated Olathe North 45-14. Turpin, Oklahoma defeated Rolla 52-6. And Wichita Heights defeated Wichita Southeast 40-14.
You know, Alex, the only thing interesting that I can find on my Twitter feed is Carrie Underwood says, I like surprises, and here you come up with all football scores.
The power of scores in Kansas,
Yes,
Doug.
the power of scores in Kansas. You know, interestingly enough, and next week's opponent is St. John. St. John's scores never show up.
They never do alongside Maxville, and St. John and Maxville are playing tonight. It's the three teams that I can't – they don't post anything on social media, and I can't stand it. And they all are south of us.
Yeah.
Maxville, Kinsley, St. John. It's the US 50 – it's the US 50 curse, Doug.
Yeah, is it the Bermuda Triangle of electronic media?
The problem there is it's a straight line. I don't know how you can make that a triangle, but
well, it's a slight triangle because St. John is a little bit further north of 50, whereas Stafford and Maxville are on 50.
oh, okay.
Think about it. It's a long triangle.
My geography is a little off, Doug.
Well, that's all right. We've got about a minute, 20 seconds left to go before the second half, and we're going to take a break and send it back to the studio. Listen to Ellenwood Eagle football at 107.9. We'll be back here after this 1 minute timeout. Back at Ellenwood High School's Memorial Stadium, the clock just ticked off the final seconds, and they just added 3 more minutes. And, you know, Alex, I've always wondered, you come out, you get to warm up, you know you're conscious of the clock, so here they add 3 minutes. Ness City is already headed to their sideline. They're going to go over there and chit-chat a while. And the Eagles still, of course, they're closest to the scoreboard, so they're taking advantage of the extra time to get loose. But, you know, years ago, when that clock went off, it was time to go.
Well, Doug, there's not really all that much there wasn't all that much leeway back then, but now as times have changed, they've started. While we were gone, I had a couple more scores pop up, so I'll mention them now. Spearville over Ashland 54-8, and at halftime, Columbus 16, Colgan 8.
Of course, at halftime here, it's Ness City 16, Ellenwood 14. I don't think anyone across the state was predicting a close game at half, except perhaps the Ellenwood Eagles themselves and the Ellenwood Eagle coaching staff.
That is, yeah, very true, Doug.
Sorry.
I was watching the little kids play football, and they were playing, and one of them threw it, and it accidentally hit the coach's headset, so I was kind of in a little bit of a state of shock.
Well, that's right. That used to be your gig down there, to make sure that stuff didn't get messed with. Well, Coach Bernie now coming over. It looks like he's going to check and make sure his stuff is okay. Well, the Eagles still working out in the end zone. The Ness City Eagles over on the far sideline. The officials starting to accumulate in the middle of the field. It will be Ellenwood's ball to start the second half, and if they keep up what they were doing, then this second half should be quite interesting also. Ness City able to drive it with Chacon. The Eagles able to get outside with Drew Blake, but Ness City also able to get the receivers open. Now the the 2 times that the Eagles did pass, able to get first downs out of it. So I look for kind of a role reversal here, as the Eagles will be going into the wind to start off the second half.
Well, Doug, the first half, as they were going into the wind, now they have the wind at their backs. I think it'll be a little bit easier for them to throw the ball as you keep on going. Oh, I'm wrong.
He got reversed here. Ness City to protect the south goal. The Eagles will protect the north. Ness City will kick off to Ellenwood. Ellenwood on the sideline here with Coach Kempke and Coach Dole. Coach Bernie headed down to about the 25-yard line so he can watch and see where it develops. You know, if you watch the Thursday night football game, and I know that was NFL, but there was a lot of controversy about the Los Angeles Rams coach being at the way down out of the coach's box, standing beside the official. The official let it happen, assuming he was going to call a timeout, and instead he just watched the play. Of course, that got the San Francisco coach all up in arms, as he thought, well, can I go down there and just watch the play also? But, in high school football, boy, they do not break that line, as there is no leeway.
Well, Doug, when you're a high school ref and you're paid only $300 to do a game.
$300? Oh, Alex, that might pay the whole crew.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long way from that.
As an NFL referee, you're willing to pick that up because, you're being paid so much.
Kickoff by Reyes. Of course, that is sponsored by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance, and that goes into the end zone, and the Eagles will get the ball at the 15-yard line. For a while, it looked like they were going to take it back to the 10, as Drew Blake just caught that on the end line. So 1st and 10 for Ellenwood at the 15-yard line. Ness City comes out. I'm sure that Ness City has made some adjustments at halftime, as did the Ellenwood Eagles. So they're both going to try to capitalize upon what they saw in the first half. Split backs in the backfield. Dole takes the snap, leads pitch to Drew Blake. Drew across the 20-yard line. Boy, had he been able to break through the linebackers, Todd Hamby put a great block here on the corner, and Blake could have been gone. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 5 here for Ellenwood. The first play was a quick pitch to Drew Blake, and we are underway here in the second half. Ness City leading 16-14. Here come the Eagles. Slot receiver far side. Single back in the backfield. Dole calls for the snap. He's going to hand it off to Blake. Fakes a pass. Blake gets to the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be driven back by the entire Ness City defense. So that time, again, another case of going to the well a little too often. Ness City sniffed it out, and Blake comes up hobbling just a little bit. So that might cause a substitution here eventually. And usually Jace Christensen would come in, but right now they're staying with Blake to at least one more play. Slot receiver to the far side. Single back in the backfield is Blake. Dole calls for the ball. Pitch to Blake. He'll try to come near side. He is met hard. Blake drives through him. He'll go ahead to about the 23-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th and 3 at the 23. And let's see if the Ellenwood Eagles decide to go for it or if they're going to punt. It looks like the punt team is headed out as Roble comes off, as does Baker.
Yeah.
And back deep to punt is
Be Landon Roble.
Landon Roble. So Blake comes out, Roble comes in. That's who it was.
Isaac Fisher, who was doing the punting duties last game and has been doing them, got a concussion in the game versus Victoria. Landon Roble's taking over duties while
Roble kicks it off to the 31. Little misdirection running there by number 44, Andres Rios. And he'll take it to the 35-yard line. So the Eagles, gain about 20 yards on that, worth of possession. But Ness City will have the ball at they spotted it a little better than I thought, at the 36. So 1st and 10 from the 36, their own 36, for the Ness City Eagles. 16-14, third quarter. Just underway. Ellenwood had the first possession. 3 and out on the punt. And now here comes Ness City. Twin receivers near side. Single receiver far side. Single back in the backfield. High snap again. This one over Fountainsteel. He is being chased by Landon Roble. And that's going to go down to the 15-yard line. Well, they're going to give him advantage when the knee went down. That'll be the 16. Alex Hammocky, that is the third time that they have launched a snap.
Well, hopefully, Doug, in the next defensive series, John Fontesdale and whoever the center is, they work on their snaps. They're doing it a little bit too high. Maybe a little bit of an offensive change. If Fontesdale's to go under center, not in the shotgun position, that could be another easy change there for Ness City.
Well, and that means usually that the Ellenwood nose tackle is doing his job. Twin backs in the backfield, Fontesdale under center. He's going to hand it off to the lead back. That is going to be number 3, Angel Guzman. And Guzman powers ahead, running backwards actually. And he'll take it across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and way long to go.
Doug, I've got a couple more scores for you. It is now official at halftime. Central Plains tacked on another score, 68-0. Central Plains defeats Kinsley, and at halftime, Otis Bison and Victoria are tied at 14.
Single back in the backfield. Fountainsteel drops back to pass, goes far sideline, gets it to Guzman. Guzman makes a move, does not get the first down. In fact, he's only going to pick up about 4 yards.
I thought he made it to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, that's what it looked like, but boy, they got him out of bounds over there, so he must have had that stutter step outside. That brings up a 4th and about 13 here for Ness City. Ness City will drop back into a punt formation. Back deep for Ellenwood is number 1, Drew Blake. Snap to the punter. He'll kick it down to about the 5-yard line on the bounce, and that's going to roll into the end zone. In fact, boy, it had enough bounce on that. It just about went out of bounds at the 1. So it'll be Ellenwood's ball, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. So 3 and out for Ellenwood, 3 and out for Ness City. So whatever defensive adjustments the two teams made, it apparently was pretty good as both of them held to a 3 and out. And really, that's the first time that they have both gone down getting nothing.
Well, and we've seen a good defensive battle in the first half, and it's become an even better defensive battle here in the second half. It'll be interesting to see what we'll see with the offenses.
Slot receiver far side, hand off to Blake. Cutter with the lead. Blake comes down the near sideline. He's across to the 25-yard line. He will be out of bounds right at the first down marker. Great block out there by Cody Cutter. Blake just followed him as Cutter plowed the road.
That makes it a first down for Ellenwood.
First down, Ellenwood Eagles driving. 1st and 10 at the 25. Dole has the play. He goes into the huddle, calls the play, and of course the center as usual out first. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole's going to be under center. Kyler takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to the lead back. That is Cody Cutter. Cody breaks right and through the middle. He's almost caught from behind, but no, they're not going to get him. Check the field for flags, and there is none. That's a touchdown for Ellenwood.
8:09 in the third quarter, Doug, and it is now 20-16. Ellenwood leads.
8:09 to go in the third quarter, and Ellenwood has taken a 20-16 lead on the great power run by Cody Cutter. And boy, I tell you what, Kyler Dole is one fired up hombre back there.
Well, that wasn't the first time that Cody Cutter's broken off for that long of a run. He did the same thing versus Kinsley in week 1.
Well, Cutter definitely showing that he's got the moves. Hand off to the tailback, and he is going to go ahead, and he is across into the end zone. So the Eagles get the 2-point conversion on a power run by Drew Blake. 22-16, Ellenwood leads at the 8:09 mark in the third quarter. You're listening to Eagle Football at 107.9. We'll be back here after this 60-second timeout. Landon Roble back deep to kick, and this kickoff brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. It's going to be a short kick picked up by one of the upback. He's going to take it to the 30-yard line, and the Eagles smother him with the tackle. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Ness City driving to the north. And Alex, this is one of the few times, actually the third time we can say this year, that the Ellenwood Eagles have the lead.
Well, that's a good thing to say. Hopefully we can say that with 0 minutes and 0 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
That is the goal, particularly at homecoming. Well, here comes Ness City, lined up, stacked formation in the backfield. Fonesteel has apparently learned that he needs to be under center. Here's a snap to Fonesteel. He'll hand it off to the lead back. He breaks through across the 35-yard line, rolls forward. They're going to give him about the 36. And that was
Angel Guzman on the run for Ness City.
Okay, so number sometimes at this angle, the 3 looks like a 1. Depends how scrunchy that jersey gets. So, 2nd and about 4 for Ness City. Here comes Ness City up to the line of scrimmage. Split receiver, far side. Single back in the backfield. Fonesteel under center. Snap to Fonesteel. He's going to hand it off. Or no, he's going to keep it and go around the right side. He had us fooled here even. In fact, he got across, it looks like right at the first down marker. And let's see if they give it to him.
They're going to give it to him.
Short. They are. Okay, so that'll be a first down here for Ness City. That's one of the few times that Fonesteel has kept it in the gut of his tailback and pulled it out at the last minute. And that time, deception ruled.
And it fooled us. It fooled most of the Ellenwood defense. We thought it was a give to Guzman, but it was just a simple quarterback sweep from Fonesteel, and it got him a first down.
Hand off to the tailback, Chacon. He's going to break through. Gets through a tackle. The Ellenwood Eagle is down. He'll go down the right sideline, and that is a touchdown. Boy, that time Chacon just absolutely plowed through. Is that Drew Blake? Is
Yeah,
he getting up,
trucked
shaking his left shoulder?
he trucked him. It did not look all too good. He's up and walking, which is good, but he's visibly in pain.
So at the 6:53 mark, Ness City has tied at 22, and they will go for the 2-point conversion. The Eagles would love to get a stop here. Boy, Chacon just waylaid Drew Blake, and it was just big guy against not as big a guy. Finesteal takes the snap, hands it off to Guzman. Guzman trapped behind the line of scrimmage, rolls to his right, and gets into the end zone. Boy, the Eagles had the opportunity to get him deep, but that time Guzman just one too many spins and gets it into the end zone. So 24-22, Ness City leads, 6:53 left to go in the first half. And Alex, we're going to keep it right here and talk about some of our sponsors.
And we'll start off with our newest sponsor, Ricker Seeds. Call Mark or Tim to pre-order your seed needs at 785-479-0135. Annie Mae's Restaurant Ellenwood. Before the game, after the game, lunch, and supper, we cook it like Mom used to. Look for our daily specials. And we have homemade pizzas too. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, Annie Mae's. Barton College, where high school grads in Kansas with a 3.5 GPA or higher, or scored a 26 or better on the ACT, qualify for a books or tuition scholarship. Visit gobarton.com for details. Fuller Industries of Great Bend, your one-stop solution source. See what Fuller Industries can do for you. And Keller Real Estate of Great Bend and Ellenwood, from commercial to residential and farm properties, Keller Real Estate has the experience to help you. Keller Real Estate, proud to be a part of the Ellenwood community.
Well, Alex, we get ready for another kickoff here. And, of course, the kickoff, no mystery, brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. Whether you're home or away, you can protect all of your belongings by contacting Amber and her associates at Jensen Insurance. Well, the ball rolls off the tee. That's the first time that's happened tonight. Now the wind almost straight north as I watch the flag. And back deep for the Eagles, it looks like Blake and Christensen. I see Christensen on the far side.
The ball's going to fall off the tee again. We haven't had to deal with this throughout the game, Doug, and now we're going to have to as the wind has switched directions.
Well, just enough of a direction change to cause a little bit, so now it's going to have to be held. And that's really a good thing for the Eagles. And that gives only 7 guys in the coverage.
Mario Luna to hold for Ness City on the kick. Number 4, Edwin Reyes.
Edwin, a little squib kick near side. That's going to be, well, where did that go? Did that go into the end zone? It sure did.
Yep, Christensen recovered it, but wasn't in the end zone, so that'll be a touchback.
Well, the one time that the one time that Jace got his hands on the ball on the road the other time, boy, he had quite the run back. And tonight, well, they've not given the opportunity as the ball has gone deep, except for the one time where Hamby let it go out of bounds, and the other time where it just flat went out of bounds. Here comes Ellenwood. Eagles on the attack. Slot receiver near side. Single back in the backfield. Dole calls for the ball. He's going to hand it off to Blake. Blake comes near side. He's hit deep at about the 19-yard line. They're going to give him right at the 20. As in on the stop here for Ness City was number 24, Nate Gable. So Blake, even though he's getting up just a little shaky, he's still going hard at it.
And that's the one thing you've got to like about Drew. He's an iron horse. Even as he's hurt, he's willing to play.
Dole has the play. The Eagles come up to the line of scrimmage, second and about 5. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole gives the ball to Blake. Blake will power ahead for at least 2 yards, tries to spin away, keeps his legs moving, and boy, it looks like he is right at the first down mark at the 25-yard line. You talked about a horse. Drew Blake that time said, "Get on my back and let's go for a ride, cowboy."
He was looking a lot like one of those Kentucky Derby thoroughbreds there, Doug.
Well, they're saying he did not quite make it, so he's about a half a yard shy of the 25-yard line. The Eagles just need to push it ahead a little bit. I'm not going to predict it, but I wonder if this might be an opportunity for Kyler Dole to slip left or right off of that nose. Dole back deep to take the snap, slot receiver near side. Handoff is to Blake. Drew has the first down easily. He'll go ahead for about 3 more yards. The Eagles' offensive line keeps pushing, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Ellenwood at the 28-yard line.
Drew Blake, wasn't all too good on him. After the play, he had Cody Cutter fall on him, and knowing Cody Cutter, he's a big, strong guy, not the guy you want to have fallen on.
Well, having been an offensive lineman, you always felt guilty when you fell on your running back. Slot receiver, they're going to hand it off to Cutter. Cutter goes left, breaks it back to the middle. Cody tries to go back outside. He is caught from behind at the 34-yard line.
Andreas Rios on the stop for Ness City.
So that'll be brings up a second and about 5, maybe 4. Kind of hard to see here is, again, I've got Ness City team between me and the far first down marker. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole takes a snap. He'll hand it off to the tailback, Blake. Blake goes ahead. He is met hard across the 35-yard line. So that'll be a gain of about 2 as he is tackled by number 61. That is Trevor Vandergrift. Vandergrift, 6'5", 260 pounds, just introduced himself to Drew Blake.
Well, Doug, last year when Ness City made it to the playoffs, it was him, Vandergrift. Well, it was Vandergrift, Crosswhite. You had Devin Brown. He's since graduated. That offensive line there that Ness City had was quite the killer line. Unfortunately, Brown has graduated, and they're still killer.
Single back in the backfield, slot receiver far side. Dole takes a snap deep, hands it off to Blake. Blake is caught from behind by Trevor Vandergrift again. Caught him by the jersey. Flags fly. This will be holding against Ellenwood. So that's going to back the Eagles up a little bit. Well, actually a lot. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long here for Ellenwood. Unless Ness City decides to decline. Well, they are not. So there is 5 yards. They're going to mark it off at least 10. There they go. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 13. Looks more like 14 to me. But hey, once it's over 10, it really doesn't matter. Dole has the play from the sideline. Kyler goes in, gives it to the huddle. Eagles come out, tight formation. Dole's going to be under center. Twin backs in the backfield. Kyler takes the snap. It's going to be a pitch to Blake. He's going to go far side. Tries to get outside. Can't quite cross the 25-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th and 14.
Matthew Delaney there on the stop for Ness City.
Now, that was kind of a sweep that just went nowhere. And the Eagles are going to come out with their special teams unit for the punt. This is only the 2nd time that Ellenwood has punted tonight. The last one was a short one, only gained about 20 yards. Back deep is Roble, handle the kicking. Snap to Roble. He's going to take a 3-step drop. Kicks it to the right side away from the receiver. That's going to go out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So again, Fisher not handling the punt has been a problem here for the Eagles thus far. 24-22, Ness City leads. And we are getting ready here at the 3:09 mark, I believe, here in the 3rd quarter for Ness City to take the ball again. Kim, I thought about taking a break there, but boy, they were ready to go. Officials already had the ball changed, so bear with me. Split receiver far side. Strong left side. Single back in the backfield. Fonestill takes the snap, hands it off to Chacon. Chacon ahead for a gain of about 1, maybe 2. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 as he is swallowed up by the interior of the Eagles' defensive line. So while Chacon was able to get out several times, he does get stopped in the middle when he tries that.
Doug, I've got one local score from you. In the 3rd quarter, Larned leads Halstead 28-6.
Well, there you go. The Indians had a pretty decent year. Twin backs in the backfield. Handoff from Fonestill to Guzman. Guzman tries the far side. He's going to be wrapped up at what looks like the 36-yard line, maybe.
That's
going to bring up a 3rd and 6. Boy, that angle's tough, isn't it, from this side?
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 6 here for Ness City. The Eagles would love another defensive stop here. Ness City comes up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to split one receiver near side. Single back in the backfield. Fonestill goes under center. Fonenstiel takes a snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to hit number 44 in a crossing pattern. That is Andres Rios. He breaks a tackle. He'll get outside. He's too much for Ryan Niles. And nope, they're going to say Niles pushed him out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So Ryan Niles with a touchdown saving push at the 17. It'll be 1st and 10 here for Ness City.
Well, and I was talking to some of the Central Plains parents. They were saying in the Ness City Central Plains game, it was a pass from Fonenstiel to Nate Gable in that direction, and that's how Ness City got a lot of their yardage. That's the first time we've seen one of those cross route passes, not with Gable this time with Rios, but gained really good results for Ness City.
Fonenstiel hands off to Chacon. He breaks middle, goes right. He is pulled down by, was that Monday or Blake? That was Drew Blake. So Blake drops Chacon at about the 11-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and about 4. Chacon gained 7 on the first down. 24-22, Ness City leads.
And they're on the secondary. They're kind of rotating them around between Monday and Hayes, and now they've got Christensen in there, so that's something to watch for.
1:10 left to go, third quarter. Snap from Fonenstiel. He'll hand it off to Chacon. He comes up to the line of scrimmage. Nathan Monday does everything he can to try to rip the ball out, but he makes the initial contact. Niles in on the play, as is Cutter, as is Roble.
Doug, I've got a good position to kill this fly.
Well, go for it.
Dang
there
it.
you go.
I didn't kill him.
Well, when in doubt, slap yourself. There you go.
I've done that twice this game, and I've gone 0-2.
Well,
Coach Bernie heard that. He wouldn't be all too impressed.
Yeah, if this was baseball, you got one more chance to bat 300. Here we go. Split receiver far side, single back into backfield. Fonenstiel under center. Tries to draw the Eagles offside, does not. He hands the ball off to Chacon. Chacon is immediately wrapped up by Cody Cutter, as well as, I can't see the numbers. It looks like Christensen and your buddy there, Bryce Baker.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
So end of the third quarter, and it is
24-22. Ness City leads Ellenwood.
So 24-22, Ness leads at the end of 3. You're listening to Eagle Football at 107.9. We'll be back here after this 1-minute timeout.
So welcome back from the commercial break. It's 24-22. Ness City leads Ellenwood as we start the fourth quarter. And we'll start this fourth quarter off with mentioning a couple of our sponsors. H&B Communications, bringing technology to your doorstep. H&B Communications is proud to be a sponsor of Ellenwood Eagle Sports, and Community Bank of the Midwest, proud to be in Ellenwood and taking care of all of your banking needs. Community Bank and the Ellenwood Eagles, a winning combination.
Ness City's going for it here on fourth down. Split receiver near side, single back in the backfield. Fonenstiel takes a snap. He hands it off to Chacon. Chacon tries the middle, reverses field, goes right, and jumps into. No, he does not jump into the end zone.
Oh.
So they're going to call it, well, he had enough for the first down.
We had the white hat saying that it was a touchdown. We had the side officials saying no touchdown. It was kind of a little bit like when you had the NFL replacement refs a couple years back in that one play at overtime, Seattle and Green Bay.
Don't talk about that, the Packers. Packers need to win. I'd like to see Green Bay, Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Hey, everyone has a wish. So first down here for Ness City. Twin backs in the backfield. Fanestill under center. He's going to take the snap, hands it off to Chacon. Chacon powers ahead on the left side, and this time he is into the end zone.
11:40 to go here in the fourth quarter, Doug. And
So 11:40 remaining in the ball game. Ness City takes a 30-22 lead as they get the touchdown on the power of Chacon. Ness City will go for 2. And, we'll see what happens. Kim, I just got word that we are not on the air. One of our listeners texted me there. So if you can check a couple of things. Fanestill rolls right, throws it into the end zone, and that is going to be good for the 2-point conversion.
And that was Andreas Rios there on the catch for Ness City. He was kind of diving there. I was fearing they were going to call it incomplete as he was sliding there on the ball.
Well, now I'm told we are back on the air. So, Kim, whatever you did your magic. So, great job there. The Eagles give up the touchdown. And, of course, we're going to talk about a couple of more of our sponsors.
And now we'll start off with ILS, Innovative Livestock Services in Barton County Feeders. Always proud to sponsor the Ellenwood Eagles and striving to come up with the best strategy for you and your livestock business. Anderson Law Office, attorneys at law, statewide services, collect calls accepted and available for evening and weekend appointments. Free initial consultation too. Know your rights, make an informed decision. And Canope Sand, no matter how large or small your project, if you don't have the right truck for the job, their delivery trucks are available. Rock, sand, or dirt, they will be there in a flash.
Well, thanks, Alex, for doing that for me there. Well, Ness City will drop back to kick, and of course, this kickoff brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. You can kick off your insurance savings or your coverage if you're a first-time buyer or whatever. They can get almost anyone insured. So Ness City drops back to kick, back deep for the Eagles. It looks like Drew Blake and Jace Christensen. Here's the kick. This is the high kick. Blake is going to, he's going to muff it. It's going to bounce off his legs and go forward to about the 20-yard line. Did the Eagles recover?
It looked like they did recover. Ness City wasn't making all that much of a celebration.
Boy, that was close.
And if Ness City would have recovered that, if they had scored it, that pretty much I think would have sealed the game there. Game saving falling on the ball there for Christensen.
It sounds kind of bizarre when you say game saving falling on the ball, but that's exactly what it was. Slot receiver near side, single back in the backfield. Dole calls for it. Hands it off to Blake. He'll go ahead up the middle across the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
And they're going to mark that, just right at the nose on the 25. So a good run on first down. That's going to bring up a second, and it looks like 6 from here, but could be 5. Ellenwood comes up to the line of scrimmage. They must drive it down the field on this possession. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole, back deep, calls for the snap. Kyler takes it, sweep to the right side to Blake, and he is met hard on the outside by number 4, Edwin Reyes. Reyes sniffed that one out, and he dropped Drew Blake for about a loss of 5. Well, I don't know if it's an internet problem, Kim, because I know this listener is on the internet. The internet keeps popping in and off, or on and off, apparently, on our Rocky Dam website. So that should give you an idea of where we're going with that. And we'll just keep going here until I hear differently. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole takes a snap under center. He's going to drop back, hand it off to the lead back. He is going to move ahead back to about the original line of scrimmage as he is pulled down by a host of Ness City Eagles. Well, they're going to say he gained about 3. So this will bring up a 4th and 8 from the 22-yard line. 4th and 8 at the 22. The Eagles will drop back to punt. Roble back deep to take the snap. Here's the snap to Roble, and it's going to be blocked, and it's going to go toward the end zone. That's going to be picked up by Ellenwood, and fortunately, they were able to keep Ness City away from it as that is recovered by number 44, Andres Rios. And now Ness City is in business.
Well, and hopefully for Ellenwood's defense, they'll show up big and stop them there as they have done multiple times this game.
Boy, I tell you what, that was not what the Eagles wanted to see there. As they've kept this one close, if Ness City would score here, then the Eagles will have to come back in a hurry. Alex is going to have to go up and help the video crew here. So he's going to take his leave. Here's the handoff to Chacon. He goes ahead up the middle, fight for the end zone, and he is kept out. In fact, he'll be stopped at about the 5-yard line, maybe the 4. So it looks like Ellenwood held on the first play, and Alex is back here. They're having some audio problems upstairs. Of course, Ryan Cutter down here was working on something. Alex was going to go up top.
Well, I was just going to confirm to him that the sound was working on the live stream. I just got a text message from one of the listeners to me saying the sound was live, so it must be on the app.
Bonestill fakes the run or fakes the handoff. He's going to move ahead to the outside, and looks like he might have gained 2. That'll bring up a 3rd and goal from about the 3-yard line. So the Eagles now need another stop. 3rd and goal here from the 3. Ness City trying to drive. Stacked backfield. Bonestill will go underneath center. He'll take the snap. Hands it off to the tailback, Chacon, and he is going to make it into the end zone. So touchdown, Chacon. That makes it 38-22, Ness City at the, what is that, Alex, 8:30 or 6:30 mark? I can't tell.
Yeah, 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go.
So a little more time left than I assumed. Okay, I guess that was Gable into the end zone. So they're giving Chacon a little bit of a rest now.
Well, and that's the first touchdown that it has not been on Brandon Chacon's hands for Ness City.
Bonestill keeps it. He's going to roll to the right side, throws it into the end zone, and they're going to say that he came up with it in there.
And that was Landon Reinhardt on the reception. Quite the pass play on the 2-point conversion. It was tipped by an Ellenwood defender. Reinhardt was coming down, and he miraculously caught it somehow, and that makes the score 40-22.
40-22, Ness City has taken an 18-point lead. Now, that's not to say the Eagles can't come back. Basically, it is a 3-possession ball game. The Eagles would have to score, convert to 2, score, convert to 2, and come down and either get another touchdown or somehow kick a field goal, and they could possibly eke this one out. But it's all going to depend on this series by Ellenwood. The Ellenwood Eagles have had a lot of success moving the ball, particularly to the outside, to Drew Blake. Then when they counter with Cody Cutter up the middle, that has also helped a lot. Now, the man who has not seen the ball in the backfield yet is, well, other than one time, was Jace Christensen. And in the passing game, Todd Hamby has only had the one touchdown, or the one first down pass. Other than that, he has been silent. So this kickoff for Ness City is brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. Here's the kick by Ness City. This one way into the end zone. No, they're going to say it went out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. So that's going to bring the ball out for Ellenwood, and they will take over 1st and 10 at, nope, they're going to make them re-kick this time. So, I don't know, Alex. I mean, this is the first time it's gone out of bounds that Ellenwood said, just re-kick it.
Well, Doug, I've got one score for you. It's the one that everybody in the Central Prairie League's been looking around for. Otis Bison leads Victoria 22-14, as if Victoria was to win tonight, from my calculations, Victoria would very easily win the Central Prairie League title, as Victoria would, if they win tonight, go undefeated in league play. They don't have any teams left in district to go against. While as for everybody else has at least one loss, and every other team, they have at least a couple of league games in district, but it doesn't matter. The team with a 100% winning record wins league.
Well, here we go. A re-kick by Ness City. And this is going to go deep, and it's going to be short of the end zone. This one picked up by, can't tell who that is. Is that Christensen?
Yeah,
picked
Jace
up by
Christensen.
Jace Christensen. Jace powers through, gets it up almost to the 30-yard line. Boy, those were some hard yards there.
And quite the impressive run there from Christensen. He broke through 2-3 tackles really easily there. Quite the run from him.
And Drew Blake is being helped off of the field. He's got his arm around
the athletic trainer. He's
been
going so hard this game, Doug. I hate to see him go out this far. He's worked his tail off the whole entire game. You hate to see him take himself to the trainer's table.
Here come the Eagles. Split backfield. Dole calls for the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. Man open, near side. That's going to be out here on the sideline to Todd Hamby. And there we go. We talk about Hamby, and he gets another reception. He is driven out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So big play Hamby right there with his second reception of the evening.
And that's exactly the kickstart that Ellenwood needs to get if they want to win this game. That's how you do it with the big plays when you burn them.
Well, 1st and 10 here for Ellenwood, driving to the north. They will start at the 30. Well, looks like they marked it at the 32-yard line. Regardless, it's a first down. Split receiver, far side. Slot receiver, far side. Or excuse me now, twins far side. Single back in the backfield. Dole takes a snap. He's going to drop back, roll right. Tries to pass it to Christensen. But that one tipped at the line of scrimmage and heads right down to the ground. So that'll be an unsuccessful first down try. And the Eagles will come back 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line. Well, you can tell that Christensen is still learning the playbook as they ended up putting him out in a slot receiver, not something Jace is familiar with. So now Christensen goes right side slot, single receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Cutter. Cutter goes left, then back right. He'll bring it across the 25-yard line down to about the 24. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3 here for Ellenwood. Good hard run that time by Cody Cutter. He even blew a tire.
Doug, I've got a couple third quarter scores for me. At the end of the third quarter, Ellsworth leads across 26-19. Nickerson leads Heston 27-14. You got to give my mom's alma mater, Atchison High, some love. They lead Kansas City Wyandotte 6-0.
Did you know that Atchison is the most haunted city in the state of Kansas?
I think I told you last year my grandma's house is haunted.
Well,
I'm going there this weekend.
That explains you, Alex. Slot receiver far side, split receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole drops back to pass, comes near side to Hamby, just out of the reach of Hamby, and that goes incomplete at about the 19-yard line. Would have been enough for the first down. Now the Eagles faced a 4th and 3 coming off the field is number 65, Bryce Baker.
He had his helmet physically taken off of him. He didn't have any.
That means you got to set a play. Whoever calls it, doesn't matter. If the helmet's off, you're out. Christensen in the slot, single receiver far side. Twins to the near side. Dole calls for the ball, and that's going to be a false start, I believe.
No, it looks like they're going to call timeout in Ness
Somebody
City.
called. Yeah, Ness City didn't know what to think of that. First time the Eagles have gone twins left and twins right. So, Alex, while we have a chance here, let's talk some more about our local sponsors.
And we're going to start off with Joyner Construction, simply the best in the business, specializing in residential, commercial, and steel building construction. Also offering complete roofing services, Hammer Down Eagles. Jensen Insurance, your independent insurance professionals, offering you choices that fit your needs. Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance, supporting the Eagles. We've got you covered. Canope Auto Parts and Repair, providing complete auto tune-up and repair to Ellenwood, Kansas. They also offer a complete line of agricultural, automotive, and oil field use parts. Count on their ASE certified mechanics for quality service every time. OPI Office Products Incorporated for all of your office needs with stores in Great Bend, Larned, and Russell. And National Billing, your accounts receivable financing and processing company. Proud supporters of the Eagles.
Well, you know, a lot of these sponsors here are ex-Eagles. Some of their sons, daughters have been part of the Ellenwood Eagles sports program. And it's always great to have them join and stay on board. And then, of course, with the influx of the younger kids, it's always great when their parents get on board also and the businesses they work for. So we'd like to thank you from Rockingham Radio for being the Ellenwood Eagle sports sponsors. And we'd also like to thank you for being some of our very, very proud and avid listeners. 4th and 3 here for Ellenwood. Slot and split right. Slot receiver in motion. Christensen comes near side. Dole drops back to Pat. He does hit the receiver across the middle. Reception by number 11. And that is our old buddy Landon Roble. And Landon has had a game offensively and defensively.
He quite has. He's had a couple of good tackles, and he's gotten some good runs like that. I've also got a good update for you. Drew Blake, I've seen him running around on the sideline a little bit, getting loosened up. We could see him return later in tonight's game.
1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 13-yard line. Split backs in the backfield. Dole takes the snap. He's going to drop back deep. He's going to throw it across the right side, and that is going to be caught by Nathan Monday.
Well, and Angel Guzman and Easton Sieb, they were covering Nathan Monday. They double-teamed him, and Nathan Monday still able to get the catch. That quite of a height. You got to say, he does a really good job when it comes to him catching the ball, and it does the same when it comes to him rebounding the ball.
I know Eagle basketball coach Derek Joyner is saying that a way to block out right there, because he's going to need Nathan to do a lot of that.
And he's probably going to go against the same two kids in the basketball court.
Twin backs in the backfield, hand off to the lead back. He's going to go middle, break it right side. Looks like he crossed the first down mark, and he is just short of the end zone. Looks like he's about the 1-yard line. Boy, Kyler Dole thought that Christensen had it into the end zone. You just do not stop Jace Christensen on the first contact. So Christensen, a newbie to the backfield, really doing a good job. 1st and goal from about the 1, maybe the 1.5. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole takes the snap, hands it off to the lead back. And that's going to be Cutter, I believe. And Cutter is wrapped up, and his will be probably a loss of about 1. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3.
Well, Doug, I've got a final score for one of our local scores. Pratt defeated Lions 49-13. And other final scores across the state. Colony Crest defeated Chitopa 62-12. And Frontenac defeated Riverton 60-12.
2nd and about 3. Slot receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole calls for the ball, gets it to Jace Christensen. Christensen tries the right side, and he is wrapped up by about 4 or 5 of the Ness City Eagles. So they figured it out. You can't get Christensen on an arm tackle, but you can if you send the whole left side of the defense.
Well, Doug, it's that hard to get Christensen down. You have to credit him, and you got to remember you're still going to have him next year as a dynamic running back.
And he is raw. Even Coach Bernie talked about that if Jace can learn the whole playbook, he is going to be devastating. This is a great opportunity for him. Slot receiver far side, single back in the backfield. Dole takes the snap, slot in motion. Kyler takes it. He's going to reverse, go right, fakes a pass, but he is dropped for a loss.
Andreas Rios on the sack there.
Rios came through like he knew what the play was. And that drops the Eagles back to a 4th and goal, but this time it's from about the 12-yard line.
We're now, it looks like, going to see Ellenwood call timeout.
Timeout called by the Eagles, so we're going to take a break here from Memorial Stadium. Just a reminder here, you are listening to Old School Radio 107.9 KZRS, Great Bend, and Hayes. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Ellenwood's Memorial Stadium. It is strategy time. 4th and goal for the Eagles from about the 12-yard line. We'll just let you know, Ellenwood must score on this possession with just 4:38 left on the clock here in the final quarter of play. Ellenwood has had success running the ball deep, running the players in motion. This time they're going to go twins left. This will be Hamby and Blake. Back deep in the backfield is Cutter. Dole to take the snap. Kyler calls for it. Cutter steps up to block. Dole with the pass into the end zone, and that will be out of reach. However,
Doug, we have a penalty flag on the play, though.
Looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference. as Roble was being held from behind.
And if it is, I think they'll give him a fresh new set of downs.
It is going to be the call. It's going to be holding on the defense. And I believe that should be a first down. Let's see how they mark it off. 2, 3, 4. They're only giving that a 5-yard gain. So now the Eagles will have another crack at fourth down. It'll be 4th and goal this time from the 6-yard line. So Ellenwood got a little help from their friends. Let's see if they can get it into the end zone. Hamby into the tight end position. Slot receiver behind him. Snap to Dole. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to try to do a bootleg. And Kyler is dropped hard.
Landon Reinhardt on the sack there for Ness City.
At the 14-yard line, and Ness City will take over on downs, and that is not what Ellenwood wanted to do. Great play design. Just needed about another second for Kyler to be able to turn around and hit his open receiver. So the Eagles will go on defense. You're going to see them try to rip the ball out here. Of course, last time when we had a great view of it, that's what Nathan Monday was all about. The Eagles have gotten a turnover so far in this game. Let's see if they can do it again. Ness City will probably go to the running game. I look for Chacon, a healthy dose of him and Guzman. Chacon back in the backfield. Single back along or behind Fonensteel.
Ness City's going back to the shotgun formation. We'll see if this works for him this time.
Twins to the near side, handoff Chacon. He'll come right side, goes toward the sideline, and he is going to run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And when he does, he kind of pulls up out here. So I don't know if that's a cramped city there or not.
Well, Doug, he was out in the games that he was able to be at. He missed a couple of district games. I was talking to the Ness City radio people. That's Bruce Beathy. For them, he missed a couple of games during district, and he's going to come out now, Chacon is. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to take the bulk of it. We haven't seen Matthew Delaney, but he's listed as a running back on the roster. Nate Gable as well on the roster. It appears we're going to see Guzman in the backfield now.
Andres Rios
Now we've
split to the near side. The official's going to get his chin strap tightened as they can do that. Slot receiver near side, single back in the backfield alongside Fonensteel. Fonensteel fakes it. He'll roll left. Now cut back toward the middle. Gets through the defense. Nathan Monday, the last man to get him. And Nathan makes the stop.
Gets him right at the 20-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see where they spot that at. And Alex, you're absolutely right. We got one. It's at the 20-yard line. So Nathan Monday saves a touchdown there.
What is that? 1 for 40? 50?
Well, we won't go there. Our stats are not important. It's the game stats that are.
Well, it's almost like that one Legion game we both called, and they were getting foul balls like they're none others. The Hayes versus Great Bend is the
foul ball
Braves.
Kings of Kansas.
Yeah, they had like 40.
Split receiver, near side, slot receiver as well. Single back in the backfield behind Fonensteel. Fonensteel takes the snap. He'll hand it off to the running back, and he does get a fumble, however, into the hands of Ness City. Colby Prescott comes through with the hard hit, and that drives Ness City back. Clock will continue. 3:33 left to go in the ball game. Ness City leads 40-22. Ness City going to take their time getting the next playoff, as all they need to do is run out the clock. Of course, the Eagles, what they have to be cautious of is not jumping off sides in an effort to get to the ball in a hurry. Twins to the far side, single receiver near side. Single back beside Fonensteel. Fonensteel takes a snap. Here comes the motion man out of the slot, comes to the near side. He'll take the handoff down across the 15 to about the 13.
Nate Gable on the run there for Ness City.
He is
quite the good run.
By number 56.
We've got an injured Eagle, and that is Nathan Monday.
Austin Trimmer. So Monday is down on the sideline. We won't speculate on Nathan. We'll take a break here from Memorial Stadium. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Welcome back to Ellenwood's Memorial Stadium. The trainer and coaches attending to Nathan Monday. Both teams down on a knee, honoring Monday just to make sure that he's okay. Now, he is moving. We have no clue as what has happened. And again, we're not going to speculate upon it. 2 minutes, 42 seconds left in the ball game. Ness City leading 40-22. And Alex, even though the Eagles are down by 18, I don't think anybody, and we've said this a few times across the state, thought that this game would have been 24-22 at the end of 3.
Well, Doug, reading the papers, it was Ness over Ellenwood, Ness over Ellenwood, Ness over Ellenwood. It's been such a tight game that we've seen, and, it has been very tight until this fourth quarter here.
Well, Nathan is up and walking to the sideline underneath his own power. Kind of interesting. Athletic Director Derek Schoendaler comes over. He gets above Monday, and Nathan was like, well, I guess I better get up. So the miracles of the AD.
In some fourth quarter scores, Larned leads Halstead 35-20, and Great Bend leads Dodge City 24-13. Great Bend trying to spoil Dodge City's homecoming.
Well, Great Bend needs to bounce back after that huge loss to Wichita Northwest last week. Twin backs in the backfield. Slot receiver near side, Fonensteel under center. He's going to take the snap, hands it off to Chacon, and he will go ahead. Now, that's not Chacon, that's Guzman again. And he gets it down to about the 5-yard line. So power football here by Ness City, trying to close this one out and keep the clock running. 2:20 now left to go in the ball game. Ellenwood would like to get another stop here. If nothing else, it's great momentum. Ness City walking to the line of scrimmage. Tight formation. Twin backs in the backfield. Fonensteel under center takes a snap. Hands it off to Guzman. Guzman is held up by the Eagles' interior line and thrown back. About a yard, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to leave it right where it was. Of course, the clock's still running. Now under 1 minute, 45 seconds left to go in the ball game. Ness City simply walking back to the huddle. They'll call a leisurely play, probably try the middle again, as not to, as they say, rub it in. But the Ellenwood Eagles defense is going to try to strip that ball. Tight formation on the line. Fonensteel still waiting under center. He's under center. Twin backs in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Chacon. Chacon goes left side, breaks some tackles, and he is into the end zone. And that'll be a touchdown here for Chacon.
Minute 17 to go in the fourth quarter.
1:17 left to go. Chacon and Ness City take a 46-22 lead. And I don't think that was the design. He just happened to go off of the left guard and got bounced to the outside. And it's so hard not to score when you've got a lot of green grass in front of you.
Well, Doug, with Brendan Chacon being as powerful and as explosive a running back as he is, another thing that I learned talking to Bruce Beathy, the Ness City radio play-by-play announcer, he hasn't really had that well of a start to the season. Maxwell, they didn't really do as well as a team. Central Plains and St. John, he did good, but...
Fumble on the snap by Fonensteel, picked up by the Eagles, and they thought they could run it back. But in fact, they just said, no go. You can't pick it up and advance it in that manner. So the 2-point conversion fails, and that'll leave the score at 46-22, Ness City. It'll be the Eagles' ball with 1:17 left to go.
That's the first 2-point conversion that Ness City hasn't converted on all game.
I think, I'm going to check that, Alex, because I think there was 2 of them. Dun, 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 dun. You know what? You're right. I'm wrong. I hate it when that happens. So we're getting ready for another kickoff here as Ness City will kick it off to the Ellenwood Eagles. And this kickoff is brought to you by Amber Pets and Jensen Insurance. Fun to have Amber up here at halftime. For 2 years, she said, I'll get up there. And she picked today. She tried to get her daughter Lauren to talk, but... well, that was a no-go. Ellenwood back to receive the kick. It is I can't see the numbers for some reason.
I believe it's going to be, that's number 4, Edwin Reyes, the kicker.
Reyes back with the kick. He's going to kick it into the end zone, and that'll be chased out of bounds by the Ellenwood Eagles. So Ellenwood will take over with 1:17 left to go in the ball game. And if nothing else, Alec, if we could drive it down the field in 1:17 and get a score, and I hate this phrase, but it's what it would be somewhat of a moral victory that the Eagles were able to drive it 65 yards and get a score here at the end of the ball game.
Well, Doug, as district play begins next week and we go into those games where it's going to be a full game, these type of things where we're able to drive the ball as fast and as quick as possible, we need to know how to do that.
Twin backs in the backfield. Dole hands off to Cutter. Or no, that was Christensen. So Christensen goes ahead for a good 6 yards. Now, I was right the first time. That was Cutter. Well, they walk and talk the same. Of course, I can't hear him talk up here. Christensen having a chit-chat with the Eagles trainer on the sideline, so perhaps Jace is dinged up. Twin backs in the backfield. Dole underneath center. He'll take the snap, cross-counter play, hands it off to Blake. He goes right side, breaks through the defense. He is ahead for the first down. That'll be a first down, Ellenwood.
Well,
37 seconds left on the clock.
Well, Doug, I'd like to give a shout-out to a couple of my friends that have just told me that they're listening in. So hello to Nick Warhan and Brandon Carr and Cody McFerrin.
Cody McFerrin. There's a kid for you. His dad, or his grandpa, of course, friend of mine who, I won't give him advertising, but he's got a barbershop in Great Bend. Dole under center. He's going to go to the left, hands it off. No, he's going to pass deep, and that is going to be out of bounds, stopping the clock, fortunately, as he was trying to get it to, it looks like Roble on the far side.
And that's going to stop the clock with 19 seconds. Sure, it's 2nd and 10, but hopefully you can get more of like a Hail Mary pass off of this one.
This will be, if he gets this one off, it's going to be a Hail Mary times 5. Dole comes out. He'll be under center. No, he's going to be in the shotgun. Okay, I lied, under center. Twin backs in the backfield. Kyler takes a snap, hands it up the middle, and the Eagles will go ahead about 5 yards, and that will probably run the clock out. Under 10 seconds left to go. Ellenwood, I believe, is out of timeouts, so now 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is going to be the ball game. So the Ellenwood Eagles fall to Ness City by a final score of 46-22. 46-22, Ellenwood falls here at homecoming. We'll take a break here from Memorial Stadium, and we'll come back with a post-game show after this 2-minute timeout.